I'm Cassandra Hearn, a top divorce litigator in California. I have a passion for educating you through your own divorce process. I've taken the toughest of divorce cases to trial, including everything from divorces worth millions of dollars to serious child abuse cases to cases where spouses have turned to wage war against each other. Over the past 15 years of litigation experience, I have seen all of the highs and lows that come with making your way through a divorce. I created this podcast to help you gain insight and get into the right mindset so you can do a divorce by yourself, and to help you make all the right decisions along the way. Whether you're just thinking about divorce or are right in the middle of one, if you're looking for information, tools, inspiration, and a community to help you through it, you're in the right place. Welcome to the podcast, where I will be sharing with you all of my divorce secrets. Today, we're going to talk about navigating the timeline in your divorce and understanding the divorce process in California. What are the factors that influence the length of time that a divorce can take? I get asked this question all the time at the beginning of a case when a client comes in and says, I want to get a divorce, but how long is this going to take me? And like any good lawyer, the answer is, it depends. So let's talk about what some of the factors are that can influence the length of time that it will take for you to get a divorce in this great state. First, let's talk about what kind of divorce you might have. Most people don't know that there are actually two separate and distinct types of filings for divorce in California. Most people presume that when they file for divorce, it's going to be a standard divorce. There is, however, another process called a summary dissolution. That's a second type of filing that will still end you up in a divorce, but it's for a very small select number of people who qualify. And I say small because the vast majority of people are going to have some element to their case that will kick them back over into the bucket of having a, quote, standard divorce. So let's look first at the topic of summary dissolution, and we'll either help determine if you could qualify for that kind of a divorce and that divorce timeline, or if you're going to fall under a standard dissolution. Summary dissolutions are for couples who have been together for 5 years or less. It's also for couples who have no children together. It's for people who do not want spousal support from each other. And it's for people who have a very specific bracket under which both their assets and their debts may fall. Really quickly, that bracket includes couples who have a shared total amount of debt that does not exceed $7,000. It's for couples who share no real estate, also called real property. And this last element is something that tends to kick most people out of the can I get a summary dissolution bucket, and that is the total value combined between both spouses of any asset from either before the marriage, after the marriage, and including during the marriage does not exceed a total of $53,000. Now, $53,000 sounds like a lot, but we're not talking about cash. We're talking about any asset. So if you owned it before, during, or after the marriage, in combination with your spouse, it can't exceed the value of $53,000. This includes things like your retirement accounts, investment and savings accounts, and any other personal property that you might own, like a truck or an RV, or things that you can collectively add up. They just can't exceed a total value combined of $53,000. All of that said, if all of these elements are met, a summary dissolution, sounds like what it is. It's summary. It means you both agree to everything, you summarize your assets, and you do agree about how you're going to split up those assets and debts, and you happen to fall within all of those same parameters we just discussed. Real quick, it's no children together, a marriage of less than 5 years. You don't want spousal support, and neither does your spouse. You don't owe more than $7,000 together, and you don't have more than $53,000 together combined in any form of asset. Plus, you agree on everything. If this is for you, congratulations. You can file as a summary dissolution and have everything ready to go on the day of your filing, including all agreements. In this case, your divorce will likely take approximately 6 months in the state of California. Now, for everybody else, let's talk about a standard dissolution. This is going to be about 95% of people. So let's talk about what a standard dissolution looks like as far as timeline is concerned. So the answer here is it really depends. I'm going to say this at the forefront. No matter what, it is going to take a mandatory baseline amount of 6 months for you to get this thing done start to finish in the best possible case scenario. For a lot of people, they don't start their case and file their case and settle their case on the very same day. So even if you did do that, you'd still have to wait 6 months. And the reason is the state of California gives every couple a mandatory cooling off period so that you can decide if the relationship really is over. In addition to that, though, an average dissolution or divorce case is going to take longer than those 6 months. And the reason is you just have a lot of things you have to do in the case to get it done. So that means everything from starting off right by filing your case in the right place, getting your financials put together straight away, and bringing any necessary requests to the court for them to be heard before your case is finalized. And this is why there's such a big it depends. It depends because there are a number of requests that either party can bring to a judge during the course of a case. And every time someone brings a request, this is called a motion or it's called a request for order, you're asking the judge for help. Well, if you want the help of a judge, you better get in line. And so every one of these filed motions or requests takes time to be heard. All of that time gets added to your case while you're waiting for issues as a whole to be resolved. So I hate to say that I can't give you an exact amount of time that your case will take, but tune in again because we're going to be talking in the next episode about things you can do to help yourself move your case along thoughtfully and quickly. One quick tip before we go is that if you want to help yourself and help yourself an awful lot, one of the best things you can do either before you file or at the very outset of your case is to begin to work on your financial declarations. Because no matter what, no matter who you are or how much or how little you make, you must complete the court's mandatory financial disclosures right at the beginning of your case. And it's the homework that nobody wants to do, but it simply must be done. We have some tips on how to complete your mandatory financials. These are called preliminary declarations of disclosure. So check out the links section for help on that. And do be sure to tune back in because we're going to be talking a lot more about the timeline of your divorce and how to get through it.